Hello, Hateless Gaming here, bringing you an update on Zero to Hero. This is going to be the 30-day update. This is the big one. This is the one we're going to talk about what I've learned, what I've done, kind of the mistakes I made, where we're going, the goals going forward. This is the one that if you missed all the others, this will catch you up and bring you up to speed of what's going on. So, the initial plan for Zero to Hero was that we were going to make a character and get him to 20 million skill points playing only 8 hours a week and see how many weeks it took. And that's where we started. So I decided that the best path to go, our initial plan was going to be to go, fly a Punisher to begin with, because the Punisher is the easiest ship to get into and fly to make your initial ISK compared to other ships for like Abyss. I'm sure that there's other ways to make ISK as a new player. But hi, Nico. You're going on YouTube. This is Nika. She's our kitty that's part of the stream. She sponsors Zero to Hero. She's an adorable cat. But our initial plan that we wanted to do is we were going to fly a Punisher, and then we were going to upgrade that Punisher into a Imperial Navy Slicer, and then grind that into a Succubus to do Tier 2 Abyss. How did that go? Let's go check out our interactions and our combat log. And I will be able to show you guys the losses. So this character's been through a lot. In its first day, it lost a couple ships. But what happened is we did really well. And then we lost in the Imperial Navy Slicer step, we lost one of the Imperial Navy Slicers. This set us back a while. This was in like the first like 8 or 9 days. So this set us back at like 8 days, back to like kind of where we started. We already had the skill points and everything. So it set us back a little bit. We lost this due to a piloting error. We could have easily shot the correct lasers or the correct crystals and probably survived in the ship. But it was due to my negligence and overconfidence that we lost this ship. So what happened is we didn't have a foundation set in place. So when we lost this ship, we kind of went back to square one. After losing this ship, we promptly lost another Punisher in the same day to an Overmind and an Anchoring Demovic because of, again, you guessed it, improper flying. So this put us back down to the 2 million ISK fit. And then we lost that fit too. And like literally went back to the basics to try and figure out how to make these a little bit more solid so that they don't die. So we had to go through the learning of a proper fit, and then we came up with the next retribution. I think we ended up flying the Imperial Navy Slicer for a while, and then we lost this guy to drifting out. This was not a disconnect. It was me dealing with a stream error, and we SRP'd this ship. The next ship that we ended up flying is the Succubus, and we lost this one to the Unstable Abyssal Depths. This actually timed out. So what we learned here is that the Succubus doesn't quite have the gumption or DPS or application to reliably do Tier 2. We were still on the standard Cerebral Accelerator when we had this Succubus, and it still timed out. So we do not believe that the Succubus is a reliable Tier 2 ship, and with alpha skills. With omega skills and good skills, it can run Tier 2 fantastically well. It's got the tank, it's got the speed, it's got the DPS, it just without the extra bit that it gets from having good skills, the missing DPS makes it time out and you miss a little bit of range and stuff. It doesn't do so well. So what we ended up doing after we got to this point, so we got to this point, we ran the Imperial Navy Slicer, we got to this point, we lost it, we ran Tier 1 for a while. And so we're like, okay, well, the Tier 2 Succubus isn't going to work, and we had collected a lot of data on like what Tier 1 is and how much this could make, so we had a really good idea of how well the Succubus flies through Tier 1. And we flew the Succubus for a while, and we solidified a really good Succubus fit, which is up on my EVE workbench. It'll be linked below. But we made a really good Succubus fit that's good for farming Tier 1 as a new player. It's only 60 million ISK. It's really cheap. It's the same cost as pimping out a Imperial Navy Slicer. So I would recommend at this point to either go Punisher, Imperial Navy Slicer into Succubus, or go Punisher, Imperial Navy Slicer, and then save up for like a Gila. And I'll get more to that in just a minute. So since we had gunnery and shield skills, I decided that we would try, since the tier 2 Succubus didn't really work out, I know that tier 3 and a cruiser is about the same income. So what we did is we trained into a Phantasm, and we had 2 losses in the Phantasm. One here, and then I decided to SRP it. So we ground up 300 million ISK, and then we lost that. And then I SRP'd it because it literally died in the first tier 3 that it went into. So it died right away. So I bought another one. And that guy died to a very similar spawn. I know it doesn't look like it from this kill mill here. But the thing that they had in common is that both of the spawns had the Harrowing Vedmax. And that's what killed the Phantasm. With better skills, this would be successful in that room. However, with alpha skills, it doesn't work. So tier 3 Phantasm, viable, not for an alpha. And that's what we learned. So we got set back the 150 million ISK for the Succubus, and then the 300 million ISK in this. And then we decided to do a grind, and that's where the last update came in. We did the last update, and it was just literally, after we lost this, just a grind. And then we just recently, the big thing that happened is we got our Gila. And the Gila is actually a fantastic ship for grinding ISK and doing Abyss. It's got a really good bonuses. It's got a 4% shield resist bonus per skill level. I know this isn't showing right, but it's got a 4% bonus to shield resistance per skill level, a combat drone damage bonus, and a medium combat drone hit point bonus, making the drones on the ship absolutely fantastic. They do exceptionally well, and then the fit for it that we made is right in the ballpark of 300 million ISK, making it super viable and super affordable for a new player if they were to like grind up ISK. The problem with this ship is that we had to train entirely different skills because we had to train missiles and guns. But now, because we did that, we now have drone support skills trained, we have gunnery support skills trained, we have a lot of the Magic 14 done, and we have some missile support skills trained. So what we're kind of slowly doing now is we're rounding the character off to kind of be able to fly a little bit of everything, so that when we want to get into the next ship, we just have to train the spaceship command and the guns for it. And it doesn't matter what ship. If we want to fly Cerberus next, if we want to fly a Zealot, if we want to fly whatever, really, it's going to be really easy to get into future ships. And so that gives us a really good foundation to build the character up upon. Whereas our goal is kind of change from just 20 million skill points. I want him to be able to run all kinds of Abyss ships in all kinds of Abyss rooms. So when this character is done, the vision that I have for it is I'll be able to log in and do Abyss based on how I feel. So if I feel like flying an Ikatursa, he'll be able to do that. Or if I feel like flying a Demos, he'll be able to do that. That's the kind of idea that I want. He's going to become my Abyss runner, is basically what's going to happen. And kind of like my main has the collection for mission running, I'm going to make him a collection for Abyss, running Abyss. He'll have a clone collection and a ship collection to go along with Abyss, but he has to earn that. So I'm kind of getting a vision for what this character is going to be and what his like end target is. And it may exceed 20 million skill points as well. So we're kind of extending that vision a little bit. But that's kind of where we're at. We just purchased the Gila. The Gila is only 1 stream old, so I've only flown the Gila for about 3 hours so far, and it's made about 150 million ISK. So it's already halfway paid for itself, and we've spent all that ISK on daily alpha injectors, which we'll continue to improve the Gila with. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're doing. I'll have a link to all the skills that we've trained so far down below. It'll be my my character board link. I'll link that, and you can see where the character is. And then if you're watching this in future, you'll be able to see what this character is trained up to the date where you viewed this. So you'll see where this character ended up. But as of this time, I'll kind of go over my skills in game. What we have so far in Spaceship Command, I'll just show my skills. So what we have in Spaceship Command is we have, I think, all the frigate skills. We have Amar, Caldari, Galente. I think we're missing Mimitar. So we don't have Mimitar skills yet. We have Amar, Galente, and Caldari frigate skills, destroyer skills, and cruiser skills, because that's what we needed to fly both the Phantasm and the Gila, are the skills that we needed to train. So that's what we ended up training. We don't have very strong skills for the Gila in the Spaceship Command tab, but we did okay. But this is where we're at in Spaceship Command. I'll just kind of let you guys view this for a second. And then in navigation, we basically maxed out in alpha for navigation. Acceleration control gives you additional boost for the prop mod by 5%, so it gives us an additional 15% speed on our prop mods. Afterburner reduces the cap usage on afterburners. The evasive maneuvering increases the agility for your ship. Navigation increases the subport velocity, so it's incredibly important for things like the succubus. And these two are natural skills that you have upon creating the character, so we never did this. However, if we view all skills, this is pretty much everything an alpha can train. So we have really strong navigation skills for an alpha. In the engineering tab, we have most things done. Like I said, we're kind of working on things one thing at a time. Weapon upgrades still isn't 5. That's a really big skill. We have thermodynamics to 3. We have power grid management to 4, I believe is standard. And then we train CPU management to 5, which is helpful for a lot of fits. We have energy grid upgrades to 3 and electronic upgrades to 3. I don't think that one helped much. And then advanced weapon upgrades to 3 is really important for fitting. It reduces the power grid need of weapons, which is a big deal. Power grid is kind of shy, especially when you only have power grid management to 4. And it's a 9-day skill as an alpha to get it to 5, which we will be getting eventually. We just don't have it yet. In the armor tab, we've trained up repair systems to 5. This was one of the first skills that we trained. It's very important if you're going to fly armor ships. And then we got hull upgrades and mechanics to 3 to get a little bit more EHP, which is, yeah, they both give extra HP. We needed that for our succubus and our Imperial Navy Slicer to be able to take the big hits from the grips. This is very important if you want to survive the grips. If you train this up to 5 on each, it'll help the grips even more. Shields, we have quite a bit of skill points kind of put in here. We have basically all the shield skills that we need for the Gila, trained to 4. Trained to 3. We have shield compensation, shield management, shield upgrades, shield operation, and tactical shield manipulation trained to 3, with tactical shield manipulation trained to 4. In targeting, we haven't touched anything. I think I may have done long-range targeting to help with the retribution, because retribution really suffers in targeting range. And I think that the other two are what is without training. I don't think I've trained anything here. In gunnery, we have all the gunnery support skills except for gunnery trained to 3 or 4. Motion prediction, sharpshooter. I'll go back to my skills here because there's a lot of skills in this tab. Control burst helps with the capacitor for the lasers, which is really important on all the laser boats. We have gunnery trained to 4, and then all the support skills, motion prediction, sharpshooter, trajectory analysis, surgical strike, and rapid firing are trained as high as we could so far. We don't have trajectory analysis trained yet because that's 8. So everything that wasn't an 8 or more day skill, we trained up. So it was like 3 or 4 days, we trained it up and we got it done. In missiles, we're kind of working on that now, but the Gila doesn't really need missiles. Missiles are really required for the bigger ships, or not the bigger ships, but the missile-dependent ships, where we haven't really gotten into missile-dependent ships. But we do have a few skills trained. We have guided missile precision to 2, missile bombardment to 2, missile projection to 1, target navigation prediction to 2, missile launcher operations to 4. That was a big one. In order for us to get the support skills injected and started. Rapid launch to 3. And then we put a lot into drones. So far, I've been putting a lot of my free skill points into drones. I haven't spent the 102 that I have right now, but they'll probably go into drones. We have drone navigation to 4, drone interfacing to 3, which was a big one. Drone interfacing requires drones to 5. And drones to 5 was a 5-day skill. This is a long one. And then we're currently training medium drone operation to help the Gila's damage. It'll give us an additional 5% damage. And then we have drone sharpshooting and light drone operation trained up a bit. Drone sharpshooting does need to go to 4, but it will in the future. And then drone durability is only 2. Increasing that would help the drones a lot, surviving an abyss with the deviant automata suppressors. And I haven't trained anything in electronic systems except for bare bones skills to put on like a web and whatnot. So there's not a lot there. I haven't touched scanning. I haven't touched anything after this, except energy weapon rigging has been trained. Training the shield rigging would be really beneficial to me. It would lower the signature radius of our Gila, which is probably something that we'll do soon. Which the drawback on these is that you have increased signature radius. We have a 10% drawback, and the drawback is increased signature radius. So because we're fitting these, we have a higher signature radius. That's a problem. But yeah, that's where we're at with skills. I haven't trained anything past rigging down in this list at all. I haven't trained any social, trade, neural enhancement, or any skills, any of those skills. So that's kind of where this character's at. So far, he has a net worth of 450 million skill points, or 450 million ISK. I said that wrong. I'm sorry. And then he has 3.3 million skill points, and he's doing really well. The income that we've had, I've received a little bit of ISK and given it away, but the overview is that in a month's time, we're gonna knock 450 off of this for the number that we have earned, because I gave myself 300 million ISK for that phantasm that we lost, and I gave myself what was it? I gave myself 100 million ISK for the whatchamacallit. It was a gave myself 400 million ISK for the Imperial Navy Slicer that we lost due to troubleshooting problems during one of the streams. And so that's 400. So we've earned about 1.2 billion ISK in a month, and we've spent a lot of it and lost a lot of it and put a lot of it into daily alpha injectors. But that's really good, and this number is going to go up in the future. But this is the 30 days average income, and the character is a little bit older than 30 days old. I'm not sure if all of those losses are included in that list there, but this continues going up as we move forward, and it's going really well. That's just kind of the picture of where the character's at. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth update to the character, because I know that I did a really short update because not much has happened. But this is where we're at. If you would like to see more updates on Zero to Hero, make sure to comment in the descriptions below. If you guys have any ideas of ships that you'd like to see it fly, or just kind of any talking points or anything, make sure you mention it in a comment. Or if I missed something today, make sure you mention it in the comments, so in the future video I make sure I get it. But with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Fly fun. Enjoy your time in EVE Online. I know that I do, so I hope that you do as well.